Hey guys, it's Steez from NetsGC. Today we have a special kind of video. We've been making builds. We've been talking about the Pro Series kind of going on, giving you guys a little rundown with the streams, with the off season this year. But I want to slow down a little bit, kind of talk to you guys about the NBA 2K League in a pro's perspective and in a way where I could not only try to help you guys give tips to making the league, but also kind of how to stay in the league. So as you guys know, there's the 2K League tournaments that if you win those with your team, that makes you eligible to be in the draft pool going into Season 6. So to be real, find a team that you can get the most chemistry with and try to win one of those. I know there's a few left, so try to get in one of those soon. But if not, the 2K League has been putting out plenty of opportunities with the Pro Series for 3v3 and the Pro Series for 5v5. So if you can, try to find a way into one of those. But the next part I want to kind of talk about is being a 6-year vet in this league. It's huge to focus on your longevity in the league. Getting in is one thing, and it's definitely a tough task, but trying to stay in the league for a long time is very tough because you got to have consistent seasons. You're basically on yearly contracts, so you're playing for your spot every single year, knowing also that there's millions and millions of kids that want to take your spot and want to play. So one of the first tips that I'm always going to say is always keep your mental right. That's one of the biggest things. I feel like if you're good at 2K and you feel like you have the talent to play in the 2K League, then you're going to be okay in that sense of like being able to show up on game night and play and scrim, whatever it might be. But the biggest thing is you're going through a 6-month trial and error of being away from your family, being in market, so probably away from your geographical location from where you're from, and just got to deal with wins and losses. And trust me, winning in the league is an amazing feeling. It's one of the best things. You'll never get a better feeling than that. But losing, man, that comes with a lot of stress. You got to be able to make sure that you can maintain that to stay in the league for a long time. Next thing I'll say is be a good person, be a good teammate. The league is not just playing 2K. It's, to be real, how I've always put it, it's about 25% 2K and 75% everything else. And that's back to being, keeping your mental right, being a good person, being a good teammate, being a good leader if you're able to. Being able to represent your organization on a daily basis, content, media, whatever it might be. That's the other 75% that everybody kind of needs to worry about. But things get so much easier when you're playing as a professional, but you could show up every day and just be a good person, be a kind person, caring. Of course, there's going to be times where you're going to have to, kick your teammate in the ass a little bit and try to get them moving, get them locked in. And that comes with the territory. But trying to just be as helpful as possible can go a long way. And I feel like some of the best teammates I've ever had in this league that were also really skillful at 2K were always good people in general. It was someone that you wanted to see every day, wanted to meet up with, wanted to practice with, get extra reps with, whatever it might be, watch film with. So let that be your mark number 2 to just try and focus on. I know it seems like something that should be the minimum requirement, but just keep it in mind. Sometimes it does go unnoticed, and sometimes you get some people in the league, some teammates, some players, whatever it might be, that maybe don't act the way that they should, and you kind of want to just drop them and find another teammate, but you can't during the season. Another thing I'll say is try not to burn bridges. There's going to be times where you do, and I have as well, but you never know who you're going to come back in contact with. For instance, I was playing for a different team for my first 4 years of the NBA 2K League. My GM this year, OG King Kurt, someone I cherish very much and owe a lot to, had known me for these past couple years prior to me being on his team, and he knew that when the time came and it was draft day, he didn't hesitate to call my name, and so that's something I'm very thankful for. And it's a bridge I'm happy I never burned, and I always was very cordial, and we had a good relationship. We always had really good talk. So you never know who you're going to meet in this league, and you really got to hone in on that and realize that you never know when you're going to have to cross this bridge again. Now, at the same time, there's going to be people in life, just like outside of the 2K League, that if you feel like you get wronged, man, you gotta take the punches and figure out what you got to do. But yeah, that would be my third piece of advice. Try not to burn bridge. You never know who you're going to come across. The next thing I'd always say is you never know who's watching you. Being in the 2K League, you're under a microscope, and it gets tough sometimes because sometimes you might want to just let loose, say some crazy stuff, whatever it might be, but you always got to realize that you're being watched in the 2K League. You represent the NBA organization, and it gets tough, but you have to be a professional on the court, off the court, when nobody's watching, when you're at your friend's house, whatever it might be. And if you kind of have that mentality, you should be okay. I've managed to do pretty well for the past 6 years of always knowing that, I got to realize that you're not only representing yourself, your family, but you're representing the NBA and an NBA organization. that took a chance on you, that expect the best out of you. And so that's something that you also got to keep in mind. So be prepared and make sure you know that going into the 2K League. Give it something that you wish to pursue. So that's number 4. I guess my last and final piece of advice that I'll try to give is, yes, this is a career. Yes, there's a lot of money involved. And does it get tough when you're losing? Of course. But you also got to remember why you're here. I think a lot of people, once they make the league, their vision kind of fades of, those days where, let's say they were grinding for the league and they would always tell themselves like, I'll give anything to, be in the league. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if I'm getting paid $100 or $100,000. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to play 2K for a living. And I think that sometimes that goes out the window once you're in the league because you forget about that. And then it just becomes competitive and you forget the fun that you used to have in 2K. So, and it happens to me too. Sometimes I forget the vision and why I got started with this in the first place. But this past season that we had really brought me back home to why I started doing this, and I had a fun season. So back to what I was saying, enjoy the moment whenever your opportunity does come. It might not be this year, it might be next year, the year after that, whatever it might be. But try not to lose sight of why you started playing video games professionally in the first place. I do it because it obviously helps support me and my family, but also because I wake up with a competitive fire every single day and I love to compete. As you guys know, if you guys have followed my path, there's always been a fire on my side. I've always been a trash talker, always really enjoyed just being a competitive person. Playing football my whole life, that's going to kind of do that. But yeah, don't lose sight of why you started doing this, and I think you'll be all right if you can keep that. Of course, there's going to be bad days, but you just got to push through, and that's why a little sub note, I'll call it an honorable mention, but try to have a good support system. It's always tough, but having mom, dad, brother, sister, friends, that's always great. They'll always help you get through it because they want to see you succeed as much as everybody else, and try not to also harp on yourself too much. Like, don't get down to the dumps, man. 2K is a tough game. It's hard. You got to be able to control what you can control, and that's kind of what I always tell myself. So when I see a dumb animation happen in 2K, I try not to let it rattle me too much, even though sometimes it does. But you got to realize next play mentality. I know I say that a lot, but that's huge with the league. And yeah, as long as you kind of follow those steps, maybe it's not the exact blueprint that you guys were looking for, but hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight onto what I see in all my years in the 2K League. And I hope this video helps you guys a little bit. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, you guys can always DM me for advice with the 2K League. Best routes you guys feel like you guys should take to becoming a professional gamer or in any other esport, whatever it might be. I'll try to help you guys out as much as possible. Like I said, appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this and hanging out with me for a little. Make sure you guys follow all NetsGC on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Comment below, like this video. We love all the interactions we can get. Let me know if there's another video you guys want to see, maybe that has to do with the 2K League. If there's anything you guys want to know, maybe I could help you guys out a little bit with maybe scheduling, whatever it could be. But other than that, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you later.